Guys, it's Kyle here. Sorry, it's been some time since I've made a new video. I've kind of had things slow me down. Like, I had to have surgery a little bit ago that kept me down for about a month or so. I had to have my appendix taken out. I had appendicitis, so that was fun. But to catch you guys up on some projects I've done, I've got here this nice little router stand, just real quick and easy. Just 2x4 construction, really. If you can see that pretty good, just regular 2x4, just cut down to size, framed it up, added wheels to it, if y'all can see that, not sure. And then I just put this, I can't think of what this type of wood's called, but I just added that on there. It just makes a nice, easy router stand, or to hold this router table on. What else? Oh, made a new stand. I got the our mini fridge back from my sister, so I made this little stand for our other mini fridge here. So that's easy fix. I'm gonna make a little box cabinet thing for that, but I'll show you guys what I'm working on right now. That's a little project. This I've got another Civic trunk here. I'm going to be doing a another custom box setting for it. So see, I've got it cleared out, no problem. And what I did is I just cut out the floor mats, since these things are really held in the back by Velcro. You actually have to cut those things off. And what I did is I took it on in here, and I just traced it out, as you can see. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is cut this out with a jigsaw and show what I'm going to do from here. I'm going to put a link down in the description below and to where I got this design from, and that's where I'm taking it, with my own little custom spin to it to accommodate a subwoofer and an amp, because I'm going to be putting a trio sub in it. It's a dual verse coil, 12-inch. I don't remember the wattage. I gotta double check. I don't know what type of amp I'm gonna get for it yet. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out with a jigsaw and get back to you guys. Okay, so after I cut it out, I ran into a little bit of a problem. The sides were a little bit too big to fit in the trunk itself. So what I actually have to do was just cut off these sides right here, which is fine. I'll think of something, whether I want to use those as little flaps or something or whatever. But still, even though whenever you go to put one of these in, you gotta rotate it and slide it down first and then twist when you get inside. So that was a little bit tricky. So what I'm gonna do now, because what the guy instructs you to do on his video with the BugOutSeries, which, like I said, I'll put a link below, to cut out 4 2x4s and to position them up high enough to where it gives you 4 inches of room, 4 or 5 inches, which should be more than enough for my amp, because the amps are only about 3 inches big, depends on which size, but most of them are about 3 or 4 inches, so that should be plenty and good enough here. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and cut some 2x4s then, to figure out where, well, yeah, I just need to figure out where the subwoofer is going. That way I can make a false cutout for there. That way I can do what I did in my last video on that teal Civic with the little holes that I made for the fan, using that mesh screen, or that grill, whatever you want to call it, before I wrapped it and had the elevated. That would actually has a way for the hot air to escape. I'll do the same thing with the subwoofer and the amp, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to mount it on the left side over here, then connect this flat back and just use it as a cover. That way I can just like open it up or whatever. I don't know. I haven't decided that yet because I didn't anticipate having to cut off the sides, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and go do that now. Okay, so this is where I'm at right now. I went ahead and put 6-inch 2x4s underneath them. So I'm not sure what that dimension is right there, or not the measured the length from it, but it gives me a pretty good depth. I mean, pretty much from my finger touching, it's almost up to my wrist. So that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to figure out where I'm going to make the cuts for the subwoofer right here, and then for the tire. What I'm thinking is to take the carpet underneath and cut out the carpet itself to where the actual opening is, and then take the carpet set on here, then trace that out like the guy did in the video. But I'm not going to use that full trap door like he did. I don't know. I'm going to do something different, because I'm not doing like he did. So yeah, I'll think of something, then I'll show you guys what I thought of. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this and get to thinking here, and stupid gnats, and let you guys know what I come up with. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention is whenever you are actually doing this, whenever you actually raise this up, you actually have to cut off the back here, because as you rise, as you know, that these seats slant down. So, you know, they're not perfectly, you know, straight up and down, they're at a slant. So the more you raise it, the more you got to cut off from the board itself. Yeah, I found that one out, so I kept having to trim the board down, which the guy doesn't tell you about that in the video, but I'm telling you it now. So yeah, don't forget to trim, otherwise it'll hit the seats and you're not going to be happy. Okay, so what I've done so far is I went ahead and made a 25-inch cut from the base of the carpet all the way up to here. This will allow me enough room to get my spare tire out if ever needed. And then I went ahead and took the carpet from here and made a 14-inch cut, and this is going to be my template for my subwoofer. That way I know, because, you know, 14 inches, it gives me, you know, what, an inch on each side from top to bottom, and then the sides are good, but top to bottom gives me an extra inch for the subwoofer to actually mount on. So, you know, I still got enough room for that. So this is just the carpet setup. I haven't done anything to the wood yet, but I'm gonna trace these out and cut them, and yeah, go from there and make sure everything's aligned. So I'll get you guys up to speed once I do that. Okie dokie, so this is where I'm at right now. Okay, this is where I'm at right now. I set up the 2x4 right there in the back, but that leaves the center structure really flimsy and weak. I'm gonna go ahead and probably put the spare tire right here, and where that hole is, right there, I'm gonna go ahead and put a bolt in there, then probably screw in or glue in some like 2x4 bricks, like right there and right there, to really hold the tire in place. And then you see right there, and this is where I initially want the 2x4. Okay, how big my amp is and where I'm gonna mount it. So I'm thinking about either mounting right here, and I can mount on the side of the sub box. Problem is that's gonna be a little bit difficult if the amp's too big, and yeah, that's pretty much the only difficulty, is if the amp's too big. So therefore, the amp's gotta stay within this, which that shouldn't be too difficult. And then the other option was to mount it here, which is why I have that one moved back. Or I can turn these into little cubby holder slot type things. Yeah. But that's where I'm stopping for now, because it's kind of dark out, if you didn't see. Well, after sleeping on it, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to make little cubby holds at the sides of this section here. So all I'm going to do is cut this piece off and then just put it on the bottom or whatever, make a nice little storage area thing. I'm going to do that to both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that and put it back in and see where my storage and all that good stuff. So yeah. Okay, so with the sides cut out, this is where the little cabinet space area or storage thing, I keep forgetting what I call it, but yeah, that's where that's going to go in. So I'm going to get this set back up. So this is where I'm at. I'm not going to do a full encasing of it, just because I don't really need to, since it already has this area for a box. All I need to do is put on a lid and actually screw this in. I actually screwed these into these 2x4s that are going to be supporting this. But yeah, so all I need to do is make a cutout of this. That way the lid can just prop right up or whatever. Or if I'm going to use Velcro, I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. So yeah, do the same way for this. Screwed to the 2x4. So a little enclosure that I went ahead and screwed on the 2x4s down there with just with 2 screws. And so I guess now, for one, I still need to make my sub box, which I'm going to make a different video for that, just because it's about making a the Civic floor mat, or trunk mat, whatever you want to call it. That's what this video is about, but I'll do a separate video for my subwoofer box and how I'm going to make that. So yeah, I guess I need to finish on these flaps. So this is the sub flat, and that would be the tire flap. For some reason, I didn't remember to get hinges when I was out at Home Depot today, so I need to go back and get some hinges so I can have some place to connect those. That's what it's looking like so far. So got a little bit of work to do, actually quite a bit of work to do, especially with the sub box. But the link for part 2 of this video, I'll put it right down here. And if you want to see the link for the subwoofer box tutorial, I'm going to put it right over here. So part 2 is right here, subwoofer right here.